What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back with a Love and Marriage Huntsville Extra, honey. I got this video, honey, that I was looking at from Crystal XOXO. Make sure y'all follow and support her YouTube channel, honey. She has a really good channel. But anyways, her and this lady named Brenda Alexander, they were talking about what is going on, honey, on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, they gonna be talking about Melody, Martell, Marceau, Tisha, just everybody. What's going on the show? They gonna be talking about the social media antics of Melody and Martell and them going back and forth in the custody case. So anyways, honey, I'm going to play that audio, and honey, Miss Robinson will be in and out with her commentary.
Okay, I text you because we've been going back and forth about all this, and I'm like, yes, it actually, when I saw you, about a month ago,
the end of July.
End of July, things were bubbling because we all knew there was all this drama that had happened between Martell, Miss Wanda, and the Scott brothers, and so I'm thinking like, okay, that's going to be the big T.
Of season what? 4B?
4B. So, we kept laying down and getting up, and now the fight with Miss Wanda and all this, I don't even know, because we know that Love, Marriage, Huntsville returns, I think it's September 11th, right? So
I think it's earlier than that.
Is it? Let me fact check right now and find out exactly
I just posted about it.
When it returns, because we can't even talk about it returning for all this stuff happening right now. And this stuff happening right now is not going to be a part of
the season
4B.
Filming has already concluded.
However, I don't know if so let's just start back earlier this summer. Melody and Martell, I was thinking that they were at a much better place, right?
So was I.
They ended the season. Of course, they were on separate, at separate ends after the reunion.
They weren't filming together.
They would not film together. However,
to film with him.
However, I heard, and I know it was reported that they went on a vacation with the kids together.
Yes.
So I was thinking, and I thought this was like right when school was over. So I was thinking that meant that they were getting to a place in their divorce that they were going to be able to interact with each other in an amicable way. It looked like we were moving in that direction. And
they were speaking positively about one another on social media as well. Martell did his entire Essence panel where he Martelled, but at the same time, he said that Mel was a good wife and that he was selfish, and he took the level of accountability that we know that he can take.
Shit, he will take that accountability and throw it away within the next 10 to 15 minutes, okay? He's a narcissist. I think he says things to make himself look good. I think it's all about a public persona. It's all about image. It's all about how do I come off in a surface way, not, because you got to think about it, you guys. If you really mean what you say, that means you have substance behind what you are saying, right? But he lacks integrity. He lacks morals, values, ethics, decorum. Child, he resides on the first floor, okay?
Within that panel.
He did at that panel. However, okay, and Tiffany says Mel did it so that she invited him on vacation so that Sugar Mama would have an experience of a family vacation. And I think that's awesome. I think that's great that she tried to do that. I think it might have been a bit early. But I, for one, am like, okay, it returns September 10th. September 10th is when the next season comes on. However, we're talking about what's happening right now. That's probably going to be on season 5, right?
Season 5, and probably discussed at the reunion special.
Right. So he came and he did the Essence panel. I did a panel with him after that. for ministry, right? And so, actually, no, that was right before that. So, actually, I had done a panel with Melody earlier that day, and she was like, I know you got to go to ministry. I forgot that Martell was on the other panel. So Martell is there, and I was in with Martell this entire time because I've interviewed him once. AJ Blake, thank you guys for joining. We are talking about what is happening in Huntsville. Oh, what is happening in Huntsville? I have my girl Brenda Alexander from Shadow and Act with us, and I was really hoping that Martell would start to become accountable in all, in his conversation, right? First thing he does is automatically blame Mel. So when he came to ministry, I talked to him briefly on the red carpet, and I asked him, what did he have to add to the panel? The title of the entire event was based around rejection. Did he have anything to say? He had nothing to add. In fact, he went back to his old ways of defending himself and suggesting that the marriage fell apart because he wasn't heard. Now, I'm not saying that he might not have been heard, but he didn't take any responsibility for the fact that he had an affair for like 5 years and had a whole baby.
Yeah, half of the marriage.
So at that point, it's kind of like, yeah, even if she didn't hear you, that doesn't justify. I feel like Martell is always looking for something to blame. He never just says yes. Well, he'll say he was wrong.
There's always a but.
Always a but.
Because even now, he's like, okay, you've been blasting me for years, but no one knows what you did.
Mm-hmm. And that's the narcissist, though, right? They always accuse you of cheating because they've cheated and they have to reconcile with what they did. Okay, it has to be some type of cause to why they would cheat, so they'll blame you. Remember, at first it was she wasn't cleaning or cooking or doing this or that. Then it turned out, well, you cheated on me first, and they don't know about that. And he always gaslighting, flipping, and turning stuff around, honey, like a pancake, honey. Y'all know how hook-headed is.
I mean, okay, what do you think about that? Because of course, you guys know we're talking about Love and Marriage Huntsville. Martell and Melody have both been putting each other's business out in a totally different way than before. They were all, little things, little subs. But at this point, they're doing paragraphs. They're going live, back and forth. And this last, what the straw that broke the camel's back, I think, was when, for me, Martell threatened to put out a sex tape with Melody before they were divorced.
That should show you how sick he is. Okay, just nasty and pathetic.
Oh, he took it a step further today and released an audio recording of his children telling on their mother.
I played that for you all, you guys, in another video.
Yeah. I don't know which one is worse. Mawadi says Sheree is writing his post, and we saw he addressed.
We said that in our private communication. Martell is not that smart. It's no way. He does not know, he doesn't know how a subject and a predicate works. He barely speaks in full sentences, and he's very impulsive.
Right.
When he's upset. So I cannot see him formulating a shade-filled, logically thought out response or rebuttal at all. And then his last response, he mentioned something about he was a former English teacher. Had I never known their background from interviewing them as you had previously, I would never know that Martell was a former English teacher. He doesn't show up in that way.
No.
Damn. I'ma throw shade if I can't get paid. Oh, girl, tell us how you really feel.
No, he does not. I agree with you 100%. I don't know that Sheree would write those posts either.
Sheree is very witty from what we know about her on Housewives of Atlanta. Even her new hashtags as far as her response to coleslaw, Ariane Curry, hashtag old and cold. Sheree has her one-liners.
What she said, April, May, September, I'm the one
I'm the one to remember. Yeah, absolutely.
Sheree need to remember to fix that damn website so the people can shop and get them some She by Sheree, okay?
I also think that could be Sheree. Sheree's definitely a stick beside him. We saw it with Tyrone. even, you know, she even protected Bob a bit when she protected things that went on in their marriage. And I think that after the humiliation that she faced from, you know, jailbait, I don't think she wants to go out like that again. So now
already, like, to me, this is kind of like this is like going from bad to bad, right?
I agree, but
well, she resides on the first floor. Okay, y'all know these first floor people be first flooring. Okay, they can't help it.
I don't think that Sheree sees it that way.
No, she obviously doesn't. And another thing, did you pick up the fact that Martell, when he was responding to, he put up a post saying that, you know, how could this be vague and all this stuff, and she's not writing no one else is writing his stuff. But he also called Sheree his girl.
He claimed her.
He was like, I was my girl.
Yes, walking her dogs, and my girl was in Miami shopping. He's claiming this one.
He's claiming this one, but we know that he's tried to do this before, because you remember we talked about, we're going back and forth, we talked about the fact that he tried this with another reality star, and Candy called him out. And thank God Candy did. Candy called him out and was like, you know, this feels like he's trying to do this for popularity, because he actually tried this very exact situation with another reality star. Also, I have a good friend that works for TMZ, and I was told that they called and positioned, which we already knew.
Hell yeah, we already knew these two thirst buckets, okay, was getting in touch with the media.
You know, you could look at that. You can look at those pictures of them taking pictures of themselves and realize it's a very staged.
Right. What paparazzi is in Atlanta in a random park? Like, yes, Atlanta is the Black Mecca and the Black Hollywood, but it's still, you know, rural.
You don't have paparazzi just out.
No, it's still rural Georgia in some capacity. It's not Beverly Hills, Hollywood Hills, Woodland Hills. No random, who gonna check me, boo? No one's checking for them in that magnitude.
And on top of that, nobody is trailing them around.
No.
Like, where's the, you know, let's get the latest scoop on what Martell is doing. Like, if he comes to an event, I've been to a few events where he was at, it's not like people are, you know, he's okay. He doesn't need an entourage. He doesn't need security. So the fact that they would be out taking pictures, and every time they go out, there seems to be a camera person, is very staged. And I do have proof that they did reach out to several paparazzi that I know here and asked them to come out. So,
and we do know that they're used to that, if I could interject. And this is even when he was married to Melody, when they announced the name of their youngest child, Sugar Mama, it was like they were going back and forth on social media, and it was this entire orchestrated interview to debut the newest addition to their family. So we know that he's used to, you know, staging.
They both, and I will say this about both of them. I think both of them are made for TV.
I agree.
I think Melody and Martell are both made for TV. I definitely, you know, can't ride with Martell, because I feel like at this point, honestly, guys, and you know, you've interviewed him. I've interviewed him.
I've never interviewed Martell.
You've never interviewed Martell? Okay.
No.
Consider yourself blessed.
I've interviewed Melody 3 times and the Scott sister-in-laws.
Okay.
But none of the men on the show.
So, what is I think that if you look at videos of Martell, because he doesn't do a whole lot of interviews, but I think the best one was the one that he had with Dr. Heavenly.
Dr. Heavenly, yes.
Calling him out.
That will always be the best one.
That is the best one. But to me, I feel like Martell is a man that threw his family away, and he is not able to deal with the fact that this is permanent. Like, it seems like he really believed that he would be able to have this affair with Arian and continue to be married, because I feel like ever since Melody actually really moved on, he's like, because when I interviewed him,
he's having an adult tantrum.
Yeah, he wanted his family back. He wanted his family back. He was crying, wanted his family back. He was sitting down doing an interview saying, I don't want this divorce. He was very clear, even to the point of when he had his child with Ariana. He still never said he wanted to be with her publicly. He always said he wanted his family back. At this point, sir, it's too late. And I feel like
waiting until the 9th hour to even acknowledge that child publicly, he's never acknowledged a relationship between the two of them.
Never.
Even recently when he did his panel on at the Essence Music Fest, which was in July of this year,
right.
He said Melody gave me 85% and I got 15% from my mistress. It was an ego boost, and I wish that I would have set my ass down and dealt with my 85%. This is 2-3 months ago. So everything changed when he went over into Atlanta. Is how I'm viewing it now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think everything changed when he realized that Melody is living her best life. Can we just say that Melody put out her skincare line? She's been doing, Melody turned into Beyonce. You know, she's doing music video. Like, seriously, she's not looking back. And I don't think he was prepared for her to be so resolute about the end of the marriage. Like, she's not.
Absolutely not, because she went back multiple times.
Mm-hmm. And I think that Martell and Ariane, they really wanted to kill Melody's spirit. And it's a shame that another woman would get with your man to try to do that to you. But that's how a lot of these first floor women operate. I think he wanted to really break Melody down, put her in her place. I told y'all, Melody is strong. She's ambitious. She's resilient. She's no nonsense. She's accomplished. And when you are that type of woman, I know all about it because I've had so many people, honey. Okay, I'm like a football player, honey. They didn't try to tackle Miss Robinson down to the ground. Okay, but I say, hell no to the no. Okay, I'm not taking that. Okay, I'm not having that. Run away from me with this. Okay, so yeah, I think that that's really what he wanted to do with Melody. He wanted to put her in lowest terms. This is what the narcissist does. They will cheat on you. They always triangulate, you guys. They always want you in competition with somebody. It don't matter how ugly the woman is. It don't matter how low her morals and values are. You know, she could be the nastiest woman on the planet. He will try to put her, you know, up there with you to make you feel insecure. That way you could doubt yourself and what? Slow down. But Melody has not slowed down. She has taken off like a damn rocket. Okay? She don't want to be on the first floor no more with you, hook-headed. Okay?
But you know, there's one thing that we can all agree that Robert Sylvester Kelly got right, is that when a woman's fed up, there's nothing you can do about it. So she gave him several chances. He continued to play games. He continued to test her gangster, and she pulled her final card.
Right. Agreed.
And when that happens, and a man or a person, but specifically men, they are so used to having that hold on you. They were together for so long. They both know each other's triggers. He especially him. Martell is an agitator. He will poke until you snap. And then he plays victim. I can't believe you would talk about the father of your children in this way. You know, I can't believe that we have to. Melody wouldn't bring the kids to my book signing. And I really feel like that the way that Melody has handled things has been in a manner of, it's been like, it's a last resort for her. She's tried everything else. Even up until she left, she tried everything else. They went to counseling. She took him back multiple times. They had another baby. What else? You know, what else can you do? That was her last straw. They've tried the co-parenting counseling. Even in co-parenting counseling, she's trying to console him, and he can't.
I remember that. He was like, don't. And the reason that he said don't is because she was consoling him, but she doesn't want him back. And
he doesn't want to. He can't take it. He cannot. You're absolutely right where it comes to he cannot reconcile the fact that he's never going to have his family in the way that he had it, and that it's his fault primarily.
Yeah, absolutely.
He cannot accept that.
So let's talk about, so if you guys are just tuning in, of course, this is Reality Check, and we're doing a reality check on Huntsville. Love and Marriage Huntsville. What the heck is happening? Melody and Martell have both lost it. And I actually said, you know, I understand Melody losing it and responding, right? She got the F nigga free music playing. I mean, she just, She's
having a city girl summer right now. She's
having a hot girl summer. She is responding. She's taking him toe to toe. But I think it's because, first of all, they were together. They do have 4 children. That's a lot of connection. And when love, there's a thin line between love and hate. When it switches, it's gone. And I think she is sick. You could tell, even in the reunion, you remember how we don't really see Melody lose her cool because she's very, very, very versed. And
she has that Matthew knows media training down.
She's very savvy with that. I see it. I was like, I respect it. But she lost her cool because it is somebody that she was married to. There was a lot of love there, and you can see it's just painful. So she was like, I hate it here. I hate this. Martell finally got her to that place, and now we see her there again. So Martell puts up, I guess he has people following her, or probably, he's a very charming guy to surface women that are not looking for a lot of depth. He's very attractive and he's charming, but there's not a lot of depth there. So he has people filming her and looking out for her and coming back and reporting to him. So there's Melody at a table with a guy, and he posts that.
But I feel like we've seen that guy on the show.
Right. I thought that was her. I thought it was a cousin of hers.
No, remember? Okay. Is his name Cedric? I believe there was a guy named Cedric on the show. The guy in that video looked like Cedric, who used to try and give Martell advice about, prior to them slipping. I think they've met.
Is it Cedric she's talking about? You guys put it in the comments. Cedric. I don't remember no Cedric.
In the gym a few times. I'm not sure what his last name is. He's never been like a recurring cast member, but I believe that's the guy Cedric that's been on the show a few times.
I didn't know that. I didn't recognize him as that. I was just like, first, it just didn't look like a romantic date
at all. They both were like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, like you caught what you can't just do. Like what? And even still, like to me, okay, can we just say this? Once you get a divorce, more importantly, once you start having an affair and you have a whole child, you have no control over what your ex does. Martell needs to let her live. Obviously you messed up. Even if you did love her, you didn't show her, it's too late. You got to move on. You cannot be responsible. You cannot even have any say-so in who she dates, who she interacts with, and him not wanting the kids to be around her cousin because he's gay. Like
the brother,
like that.
He tried to clear that up in his last live, but it didn't land. You've come off as homophobic toward Melody's brother and his husband since you guys split. You guys have been around each other for 14 years. You've known this man was gay for 14 years. There are family photos. There are all types of gatherings that you've been a part of, and now all of a sudden you have an issue with him watching your children. I don't want men watching my children.
Right.
That's their uncle.
That is the stupidest thing to say in today's climate. Period.
Yeah.
And second, like you said, they've been family for years. He's just looking for anything, but he doesn't realize it's making him look crazy.
Yeah, he's literally it's like low hanging fruit for him.
That's how narcissists is though. They're very delusional. Okay, like they're not aware of how stupid they are. Okay.
It never, nothing he does ever lands, and it's sad. I would really like for him to stop. But I feel like he's so far deep in it, he really doesn't know how to get out of it. His perception is warped.
Right. I think he believes it. That's the thing about it. Like
he does. Most crazy and narcissistic people do. They believe their own stuff.
That is true. That is true. So he's basically detailing. He's talking about the fact that the kids are with babysitters because he's actually going for full custody. I don't think that Martell. What's sad to me at this point, Joetta says, I feel like it's both of them. At this point, I do think it is because I understand, we're asking Melly to be the bigger person. And I said, I saw that she put up a post saying that she was going to just give some receipts to some media people. And even though I'm not going to lie, I would love to read.
I would love to see them.
I would love to receive the receipts. But at the end of the day, it's just, there are 5 children at this point, but there are 4 children that are in the midst of this, and their kids are big enough to, at least the older three are big enough, especially those two oldest ones, are big enough to know what's going on. And the fact that the custody trial is being aired publicly on social media and the parents are going back and forth, can you imagine what those kids are feeling? Martell,
they deal with in school.
Right. Martell released, like you said earlier, the audio recording of his daughter. And, I know, from being divorced, kids tell each parent what they want to hear because they want that parent to be happy with them, right? They feel like they have to kind of choose sides. So when they go with their mom, they know mom is mad at dad, so I'm going to say whatever mom wants to hear over here. When I go to my dad's, I know my dad is mad at my mom, so I'm going to say whatever he wants to hear. And that pulls them back and forth. That happens to divorced kids everywhere. If you're on television, of course, it's going to make it worse. But for him to release that video, I'm just like, there's no level that he won't go to try to get back at Melody. And if she continues to go back and forth with him, the only people that are going to lose in this thing are the children. Like, it's TV and it's entertaining. Because yesterday I was like, is this all to hype us up to watch on September 10th? Because
I was thinking the same thing, especially once Melody said that she was, she's going to set a date and she'll fly anyone out who wants to come out. And I'm just like, I don't, because like you and I said, the season is never this interesting.
This is why they call this show utilizes social media in a total different way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. One of my YouTube personalities, Bondi Blue, she calls it as Huntsville Turns because everything happens offline. Everything happens off season, offline. There's more drama on social media for us to follow in real time. And then I feel like they have more like local bloggers and like they're just on fire online. They have more traction than the Love and Hip Hops, than the Real Housewives of Atlanta's. They are killing it. But it never matches. The season and what happens on social media are on polar opposite spectrums.
I almost feel like their social, and I said this last season, I think that Carlos is kind of genius for allowing them, because there's some shows that kind of tell you have an NDA. There's certain things you can't talk about, certain things because they're waiting for the season to air.
Yes.
There's no such thing in place with Love and Marriage Huntsville. So like we said, we're watching things in real time on the show, but social media social media is happening in real time, so the show is kind of behind. But it still spills over for the views for the show. I literally wanted to just ask, I want to ask the audience, like, what do you guys think? I think at this point, I can't. When Martell suggested that he was going to release this tape, I'm like, okay, first of all, who releases a sex tape with their
ex-wife of the mother of their 4 children?
The mother of their 4. Anything that she was doing in that sex tape, first of all, Melody is an absolutely gorgeous woman. He knows that. Second of all, anything she was doing, she should, that was your wife.
That's your husband.
So why are you
He always complained that you weren't satisfying me sexually. You weren't satisfying me. You weren't being the woman that I wanted you to be. Well, that voice just irritates me. And then this other person, she's doing everything that I want. So she was doing all of those things and you feel the need to show the world. So then you're going to be looking like, okay.
And he actually got really graphic. He has in several interviews and said that she was
100%.
not giving him oral sex,
oral
right?
Sex. Yes. And then Melody clapped back and said, well, when I was giving it to you every day, you couldn't even handle it.
I would just like to go on the rip. Most men can't handle every day, period. He's just talking. And Martell, I don't even think I don't know their marriage, but I don't even think it was. I think Martell is looking for any little thing to excuse the behavior because he's very insecure and he needed somebody. Melody gets a lot of attention. She's obviously smart.
Yeah, she's a magnet.
She says she's obviously smart. I think everybody knows who the smart one was, honey, in that marriage, okay?
And
she doesn't have to try. She definitely 100% has a presence.
Mm-hmm.
She has an astuteness about her.
Yeah.
She's, even though we know that, you know, she gives that nice nasty shade, but she's likable. She's personable. You root for her. When you look at the two of them together and you look at the trajectory of what happened and how things went down, Melody is the one that you feel like got the short end of the stick. Mm-hmm. And he hates that.
Right.
So he's
and he looks stupid. Even to other men, they're like, "Oh, you don't do that. Like, you don't get
cool points for that.
Yeah, you don't get the side chick pregnant." And then, first of all, you're on a reality show. At the point, because he tried to put in his long soliloquy earlier, he put that she tried to use his cheating for a storyline.
No, she wouldn't have had to use it as a storyline had you stopped cheating.
And who doesn't stop cheating
when they're going on national television?
So, Martell,
this is how you know he's crazy.
He is nuts. But you know what? I think there are a lot of men out there like that, because there are a lot of men that when they mess up something good, they really can't handle it.
And we know it's never going to get anything better.
No, we see men regretting things like Irv Gotti. Sir, please stop talking about a show. Like, so that I get, he can't believe that he actually messed up. She's looking better than ever. People are looking at him like, you are stupid. Even to me, this is just my opinion of the men on the show.
Even the Scott brothers.
Yeah.
Marceau says it all the time, even in meetings. Marceau has even told Melody, like, calm down, like, don't even give him the smoke. You're winning.
Yeah.
Even Marceau, who is the most chauvinistic.
He ain't like that, honey, when it come to Miss Melody Cherie, honey. That's his baby, honey. He love him some Melody Cherie, honey, okay? I like how Marceau looks at Melody. I know y'all looking like, girl, he married. Yeah, he married, but I think Marceau, though, he wants the best for Mel. And I think that he knows that Melody deserves way better than Martell. I think at the core, you know, that's how he feels. I really do.
He is such a fuck nigga. Like, it's so bad.
You know what? I like Marceau, but I do every time I do hear everyone. Look. I don't know what he's doing. All I care about is the fact that the wife, if she's okay with it, and she
like it, I love it.
If you like it, I love it. There may be some things that I see, but that's none of my business. As long if she's cool, that's all that matters. And she's cool.
I actually think you mentioned earlier that Martell is charming and whatever adjectives you use to describe him, and I don't feel that way about him. I actually feel that way about Marceau.
So
I feel like he's very evasive. For some women, like you said, who lack substance or who like the chase and who like to feel like, oh well, I can be the special one to break that.
Yes.
The codependent, honey. That's how they think.
Endearing to them. It's like a cat and mouse kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's mysterious to them.
Yeah.
So they want to kind of crank that code. I also think that, like I said, he's smart.
He's very smart, and he plays mind games. So
yeah.
Marceau is always up here.
Yes. So right?
But he's a Libra. Libra is a what? Mental sign? Yeah. It's a mental sign. It's an air sign. Yeah.
If he's always up here, you're always up here.
Yeah. You got to. Well, I don't think Letitia is always up here. I think that a lot of times she is. I think that her mother was really, really overbearing.
Yes.
Miss Wanda is a whole trip.
Yeah, I think she's gullible. I mean, I know for a fact that I can be naive and I can be gullible, but at a certain point, like your heart and your mind have to catch up to one another, and I don't feel like she's gotten there yet.
Well, I think this, and my opinion may be not popular, but I feel like no one can tell someone when they should be question their own marriage, right? That has to come from the person in the marriage. If the wife is happy with it, then the public needs to leave it alone. If people feel like he's doing that, and I don't feel like anyone is stupid for staying in their marriage unless they're extremely unhappy. And now, if you're extremely unhappy and you're hiding it because you want to keep up appearances, that's one thing. But if you are fine and you are happy and that's your right. And everybody has a right to be in a relationship, however, whatever dynamic they see fit. But if she's unhappy and she feels like she can't get out, that's another thing. I don't think that's Letitia. I think she's happy. I think she's good. So
I don't think so. I feel like if you were really all that happy in your marriage, I think that she would put up a better front on TV. Like, why are you crying? Why are you so emotional about all these rumors about your husband? Like, if I know that my man is not doing anything, if I completely 100% trust my man, I'm not going to be crying at the possibility that he may be cheating on me. I'm not going to be listening to what the people in the streets is saying about my marriage because I know what's going on. So the fact that she gets so overwhelmed and she gets so sensitive about it, I feel like a hit dog is hollering. Okay? That's how I feel. And it's also the fact of, y'all got to pay attention to the fact that she keeps going to Dr. Francis. Why? Because she's unsatisfied within this marriage. She's not getting what she needs. I didn't play y'all the clips of Marceau. Y'all can make all the excuses that you want to when it comes to Marceau, but he is not fair within his marriage to Tisha. That marriage is about him. And I would never want to be married to a man like Marceau where it's all about him and his needs and his wants and his feelings. Like, you might as well be a damn slave and go get some damn cotton, okay, from out in the yard somewhere and start picking it, okay? And I think that Tisha is delusional because she feels like, yeah, but I have a master's and I got 2 masters, and as long as I look good on paper, and a lot of women are like that, as long as I look good on paper, I feel like I'm winning, but that don't mean that you are happy. Okay? So there's that.
Let it be. Now, I think that Melody, the only thing that I feel like Melody has been wrong with is, I feel like Melody is angry at Letitia. That whole beef is because Melody feels like, my husband was cheating. It came out. I got publicly humiliated. Your husband's doing the same thing, and you didn't get caught. And she's resentful. And I will say this: I've been cheated on before, and I've gone through, everybody finding out. I was very humiliated, but I wouldn't want somebody else to go through that. So
especially when they have family as well. I agree with you, but I also feel that Melody blames the men. She places blame on the Scott brothers as well for some of Martell's choices. Because she said multiple times, we didn't experience this in our marriage until we all started hanging out. And, she said in one of our interviews, birds of a feather flock together. Yeah. And while all of that may be true, obviously they were smart enough to not take it to the extent that Martell did.
Right. Y'all weigh in on that, comment on what they are saying about Melody. Do you feel like because Melody was cheated on by Martell, do you feel like she's wrong to accuse the Scott brothers for doing what they have, I guess it's pretty much out there that they are capable of cheating because they've been hanging with Martell this whole time. My thing is this: I think everybody, especially women, I notice they get too caught up with the cheating aspect. And they are like, well, those are good men, because they ain't cheating. Maurice, he lies. Okay, and he lies by omission. That's a dangerous partner to have, in my opinion. Just because somebody is doing something covertly, it doesn't mean that it's not hurtful. And we see Kimmy on the damn show with a support dog. Okay, because she can't get her needs met by her damn husband. Okay. And the same thing I keep telling y'all when it comes to Marceau, I notice the viewing audience, especially women, they want to make Marceau a good man, and he's not. Yeah, he may be succeeding in business. Yeah, him and Tisha is married, but how many people actually want that marriage? Not many that I know. Okay? Don't nobody want no marriage where it's one-sided and only the man, he get his needs and wants met. Like, don't nobody want that. So I think that is the problem with women that look at this show.
Even he said that Marceau has said, Marceau admitted it at the reunion. I told him that's not a good look for you.
Yeah.
He wasn't saying that because he didn't think that Martell should not cheat. He was saying he cheat with that one.
Exactly. And he was saying, at that point, this is going to mess up your marriage.
Your family. It's going to blow up in your face. It's not worth it. Marceau gives us all of the hints, all of the evasiveness. You know, he's just so cool, calm. But if you read him between the lines, he tells you everything that you need to know.
He does, but again, if you like it, I love it, and I think marriage is something like, it's one thing when people are dating, but if a person is married, I don't believe that you can speak on that. So, and it's also not their fault if Martell was cheating, because all of them, I remember when I first interviewed them, I was like, oh, y'all got fine husbands. Good for y'all, right? Because they all are attractive black men, and they all had some level of success, right? Now, some people are more interested in the look of things than the reality. And if that's you, that's fine. So but I think with Melody, it got to the point where we don't know.
She couldn't fake the funk anymore.
Exactly. And a baby it's kind of like with Crystal and Neo. Crystal stayed with him when he was cheating. Now she's telling us about prostitutes. Girl, he been cheating the whole 8 years.
Because it's a difference between you humiliating me in private and you humiliating me publicly.
That's true.
You cannot hide a baby.
Yeah.
No, you cannot hide. And it's disrespectful, because at this point now the children have to be the children didn't know, now they have to know because there's another sibling. The world knows, and it really says that you don't respect my health. Like, you put me in danger, my health in danger. Like, it's a whole different level.
And their kids are not even a full year apart. Like, the overlap, it's beyond disrespectful. It's beyond, like, you really gave 0 Fs.
Yeah, because that's a conscious.
You had 2 homes.
That's a conscious decision. He was even going over there during COVID. So, I think Martell fell in love with that girl.
Yeah, he was getting pandemic pee.
He was kidding.
It's not love. Let's stop calling that stuff love. Love would have gave Ariana a title. Love would have gave Ariana an engagement ring. Love would have made Ariana wife. He did the typical nigga first floor thing, which is put a baby up in her, which is what all the women get when they dealing with a first floor man. So you're not special. She thought she was special because she was competing. And that's why she would always say, you guys, yeah, her nigga want me. Yeah, he want me. And, she just mad. And that's why I call her a ooga booga. Some of y'all don't like that, but I'm giving you the game, and you don't want to listen to it because it hurts your feelings too much. Okay. That's how some ugly women are. She is ugly to some people. That girl is not pretty like that. I see some of the YouTubers all up in the videos. I'm not going to call her ugly. That's so wrong to call somebody that. But yet you'll call somebody stupid. But yet you'll call somebody dumb. But yet you'll say this comment or that. So it's just like, y'all be acting weird to me. I'm going to call the shit out. I think that's why people like me on YouTube, because I just call that shit out. She's not attractive like that. And she knows it. And she always tries to compete where she doesn't compare when it comes to Melody. She tries to copy off of Melody's business acumen. I see it, you guys. When she came for Melody's looks, well, she's not all that pretty. She's not natural looking. She done had all this work done. Girl, you can't talk about Melody. You don't look as good as her. And that's the truth. A lot of men is go when they see Ariana, they see Melody. Most of them go choose Melody. Okay, so the girl may look nice, you guys, when she dress up, but that's about it. Anybody could do that. Okay. But yeah, I think that that's so wrong for Ariana all these years, bragging about sleeping with that lady husband and throwing it in her face. And, your husband was eating my cootie cat like he was a champ, like, girl, that's not cute. Okay. And I know you guys because I told y'all I got experience with these people. Not these people, but some other people that act just like these people. That's why I know what I'm looking at. That's why I come as hard as the way that I do. Because I know like what she's doing. I know what everybody is up to.
Leaving his family.
Where do they do that at? It's not very smart. And not very smart. So let's move through he claimed that the kids are always with babysitters.
24 to be exact. 24 babysitters.
Again, that's not against the law, Martell. Melody has several businesses. She's now a single mom, right? So that's difficult. It's not like she has her mom, but I mean, she's the type of woman that I respect and that she's trying to do her thing. She's trying to branch out. She's trying to be a mogul. She's singing, she's hosting, she's doing beauty products, like
doing basically everything that she was doing with him, but now on her own.
But even more though, I feel like she's even doing more because there's nothing to motivate when a woman goes through pain. We come out.
Beyonce says, "Best revenge is your paper."
Extra degrees and all kinds of stuff. So she's just leveling up. But Martell, once you get a divorce, it's none of your business as long as the kids are not being physically harmed. And I really hope that they don't go to that point. But I hope he realizes if you release a sex tape of yourself and your wife,
that's revenge porn.
That is revenge porn, and she's definitely gonna have her lawyer, go after you for that. But number one, what does that do to your children? Like, why would you
care about the children?
He don't give a damn about them kids. I told y'all, they are just extensions of who he is. That way he could keep saying, they my children. He will use the children. That's what narcissists do.
He doesn't care about the children. And I hate when he always plays this, I've always been a wonderful dad. And we need to stop covering, like, we need to stop this whole conversation of, oh, I was a horrible husband, but I'm an amazing father. No, those things are one and the same.
I agree.
They're watching you disrespect their mother publicly at this point. So all of this is on record.
Right.
And that's why I said, can you imagine what these kids deal with at school? Because it's not even the kids. The parents of the students are talking about it, and then they're going back and telling them what they heard their parents talking about.
The parents don't even have to. All these kids have phones. They're all on social media. It's little kids. It's 5-year-olds with phones. It's 6-year-olds on Instagram. These pages that this content is being posted on are not private adult pages. They're blog sites, right? So the kids can be in school and the other kids pull up their phone and their mother is playing F nigga free about their dad. The dad is like, the dad is saying that he's going to put out a porn with him and the mother. Like, at some point, yes, and people are like, oh, well, people shouldn't go off on Melody because she's finally responding. I'm not. All I'm saying is that she's better than that, and I would tell her that, like, Melody, you're better than this. Like,
I think the general consensus is that Melody is better than that, and I think that the way to respond is in court.
I agree.
Everything that he posts, obviously you're watching. Save it. Send it to your lawyer.
Maybe stop watching.
No, don't stop watching it because she needs to use it in court. Don't stop watching.
Have somebody else. Melody got a lot of
Well, yeah, she has 24 babysitters according to Martell, so there's just a lot of handlers.
Have some of those assistants and groupies and all those people. I feel like you have to protect your peace. And until you're over something, if it's hurting her, she needs to have somebody. Trust me, there are 1,000 of her friends and Instagram followers that are all up in her behind that would love to capture that footage for her. She doesn't need to watch that because it's going to make her mad. and then she's going to want to respond. But the reality is, when she responds, it brings her down to his level, and she doesn't need to do that.
It does.
Not need to do that at all. Now, I don't know can you tell, what do you think Sheree is thinking?
I think that Sheree wrote the post. That was the first thing I texted you.
You did.
I mean, was that this morning?
That was it was earlier today or later last night.
We've seen Martell on television since 2018. We know his lingo. We know the way that he speaks. We've seen him on live. He doesn't even evoke these types of emotions on live, and you're allowing us to think that you can put together well thought out dissertations. There's no way.
All right, you guys, that is all, honey, I got to say about that. Y'all get down in the comments, honey. Let me know what you thought about this here video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.